Pedro, please. Thank you.
How much time?
So this question has always been asked in every forum that we have with various candidates, Mayoral candidates, Ward 1 candidates, Ward 6 candidates, and they never really seem to answer the question the right way. Currently, Latino students graduate at a 55% rate, Black students get to graduate at a 60% rate, and white students get to graduate at an 88% rate. The problem is that not one shoe fits all. Latino students have a difficult set of obstacles than other students, such as the language. They have language barriers, or they have to work because they're trying to support their families, because their mother are illegal immigrants and they're the ones that were born here and they're able to get jobs that their parents can't. So the problem is that our students have a harder time trying to stay in school because they have to work. They have the language barrier. They're not getting after school. They're not getting homework help. So my plan is to provide after-school programs for them so they can get one-on-one help, so they can get mentoring and tutoring, so they can stay in school, have opportunities for them to graduate, to attend school at nighttime, so they were able to graduate school. And another problem is that a lot of Latino students feel that they can't go to college. And UDC has allowed us to allow undocumented students to attend UDC and achieve a bachelor's. But a lot of the students don't feel like they can attend college, and I think we need to change that.
Thank you. Thank you. So this speaks to the difference in this election. We've actually created a plan on getting disengaged students out. And I'll give you some of the highlights in our plan. One of the first things we have to do is put more resources in getting disengaged students back into the classroom. Another thing that we have to do is make sure that our students are connected, our schools are connected to higher education. So a program that I want to implement is Cafe College. So just like you can walk inside of a Starbucks and get a cup of coffee, you should be able to walk into one of our cafe colleges and learn your options as it relates to higher education. That will certainly increase the rate of our young people going to college. But the final thing we have to do is make sure our young people are engaged. Make sure that we have extracurriculars inside of our schools to make sure that young people come to school and want to come to school. And then a program that we want to do is create community college high schools, where some of our best students can start taking college classes in 10th and 11th grade. We have to get our young people in the pipeline to college as early as possible, because if we don't get them in the pipeline, they start getting disengaged and disconnected at an early age. So those things will improve our rate to college.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful. Thank you. Give it up for our at-large members of the council who showed up today. Thank you so much. I'm going to make sure you guys have one of our logs. So Mr. Delegate, please. Thank you so much for coming out. Very appreciative. Thank you. Mr. Rubio, thank you so much for coming out. Everybody make room for our next color member. So we're going to come in. Okay, we have now the Ward 1 race for council member. Here we go. Okay. So if you would please, again, we're very grateful that you all are here. We're a little behind, so we apologize for that, but I think we're catching up bit by bit. We're very pleased here to have the two candidates running for Ward 1. It's Brian Dadu and Councilmember Jim Brown, the incumbent. Okay, so we're going to have Dr. Lara come back in here, and she's going to moderate this forum for us. Basically, 20 minutes. And so what we're doing is we're doing the same thing we did before, which is we're going to give each candidate about 2 minutes to introduce themselves. And after that, Dr. Lara has compiled questions of about 10 questions, and she'll pick a few of them depending on time. I'm not clear how many we're going to have an opportunity to listen from. And so each candidate is going to be able to answer the question for 1 minute. And without further ado, I give it to Dr. Lara. Thank you very much.
Actually, there's not much to say to repeat myself, but yes, we have our two candidates for Ward 1. Again, each candidate will have about 5 to 7 minutes for your statements, and then we will do the questions. So we're going to start with Brianne Nadeau. Thank you.
2 minutes, please. 2 minutes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to be with you all again after just spending some time together this Metropolitan or our neighborhood association, and then serving on our youth street ANC for 4 years, where I really got to know the issues in our community, got to know our neighbors, and really started this opportunity of getting to some of the root causes of our issues. But what I've learned from being out in the community, talking with young families who are trying to make ends meet, trying to decide, can they afford to live in our community, can they trust our schools, and also our longtime residents who are now feeling the pressure of changing neighborhoods and increased costs, is that we need to be working harder. We need to be working harder on the things that all of us want in life, all the things that are a part of our American dream. Access to affordable housing, strong neighborhood schools, good jobs. And the Latino Caucus should be very proud of the work that you have done alongside the government. Very proud of the work that you did to ensure so many undocumented folks in this community now have driver's licenses. You know, although we still have a way to go to make that more equal, that was a huge accomplishment. Fighting against secure communities and arrest, deportation, these things, you should be very proud of these victories. And yet, we need to do more. The Office of Latino Affairs has seen its budget cut by $5 million in recent years. And those are programs that go to youth, gang prevention, keeping kids in school. And we need to make sure that that funding is restored and that we have access to those programs. I'm very happy to be here to talk with you today about the issues that you care about, which I think are a lot of the same issues that I'm working for in this campaign, and thank you for the opportunity.
I just want to use my 2 minutes, to just run quickly through the things I have done for the Latino community. First, please keep in mind that I'm an immigrant, that I'm a naturalized citizen, that I came to this country with the American dream very much in mind. Let's start with the beginning. The very first bill I introduced was to provide insurance, health insurance, to Latino children without regard to immigration status. It passed. I have been instrumental in the Monsignor Romero apartments after the 5-alarm fire. I played a key role with the St. Denis apartments, also in Mount Pleasant. We fought for Latino tenants at Las Marias, which is now tenant-owned in 1458 Columbia, 1418W, 1433 Columbia, 1372 Kenyon, are all examples of apartments that were slum nuisance properties that today are owned by tenants. I led the effort to reform and strengthen rent control. I convened the first council hearing that was conducted entirely in Spanish. I made certain that the Carlos Rosario School was located at 11th and Harvard. I introduced tax relief for Gala Hispanic Theater, which was passed and made it possible for them to go to the Tivoli. My pro-urban youth program was funded with local dollars to make sure that undocumented youth could participate in summer employment, because without that, the federal government would forbid it. I established the Gang Intervention Partnership, which has fought gang violence, particularly in the Latino community. I received the keys to the city of El Salvador. I just want to ask one question. ¿Qué ha hecho Brian? Específicos, por favor. Por la comunidad latina.
Thank you so much. Is this working? Thank you so much to both of you for being here. I'm Lilian Perdomo, and I am a resident of Ward 1, and I know how much work it takes to do the work in the council, as well as to run for office. So would you please give these two people a hand for taking this on and making it happen for the first question, we'll start with Brienne. Latinos are 10% of the city's population. Yet there has never been a Latino council member. Very few Latinos hold elected office in DC, and only around 3% of the city government employees are Latinos. What would you do to ensure a more inclusive workplace at a city hall and in local DC government? And for Jim, I want the council member to really let us know how he is working to develop the next generation of Latinos that are going to be in leadership in the place where he is at now, because Ward 1 is a very important place for that.